everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dungeon Boys. My name's Keith, and I'm your dude.
Josh playing as Arlo.
Zenas playing as Grim.
And Brice playing as Jack Law.
And we are going to do another episode. Last time, they finished up some combat outside the city of Buckland. They met the mayor, Duncan, who's the new mayor of the city of Buckland. And he seems to be a servant of the scale as well. And he is sending them to the Fullhammer Mine. He said his name was Duncan Hammerfall. He's sending them up to the Fullhammer Mine after they got inside the city of Buckland. But this has been their journey as well. We spent a lot of time on a boat, but they received a letter from their friends at the organization, the Servants of the Scale that they work for, and it told them to go to Buckland, and they have this key that they're supposed to be seemingly delivering to some folks in Buckland. And they finally made it, and Duncan has asked them to go to the Fullhammer Mine because he believes that's who's sent for them. And on their way there, they stopped for a little bit of shopping in the stores of Buckland, and they got a lot taken care of there.
There was an epic battle to get
There was
in.
an epic battle as well. They fought some elementals and stuff to get inside. And so they bought some things from some folks. They commissioned a few enchanted items with Charles of Boonshire. Now they've exited Charles of Boonshire into the cold as evening is approaching. And they are very cold. It is snowing.
I'm gonna head over to that woman that was mentioned.
Yes, Lady Lupa. Lobi explained that there's a lady named Lady Lupa who makes clothing. She's a tailoress, a seamstress in the city.
Didn't the Duncan fella say something about he was going to make sure we stayed warm or something?
I believe he did, yes.
Just to help me out, did he say that? Did I say that as him?
Yeah.
That I was gonna
Like warmer clothing or something.
that I was gonna help you do that? He was gonna give you that?
Like we're going to get you some warmer clothing.
You don't have to do that, I guess.
No, I couldn't remember saying that.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Maybe he's got like a coupon or something.
He said
so?
for helping him out.
Oh yeah, sure.
He said maybe we can get you into some warmer clothes.
Straight.
Gotcha. We'll say for all intents and purposes that this lady is the main seamstress in town. So if you were going to learn how he was going to do that, you'd probably learn it from her.
Who?
The lady that Lobi told you about, Lady
Okay.
Lupa.
Okay.
Gotcha. I'm not sitting there trying to pull one over on me.
I'm
said
trying
a
to
lot
pull one
last
over
game,
on
and
you.
I didn't remember what I said.
I totally lied.
Hmm?
I said I totally lied. We're pulling this over on you.
Okay. Cool.
You have no idea, though.
I put a lozenge in my mouth because my throat hurting from talking like Charles. Okay, so
Charles
you guys
is a rough dude.
head over there to Lupa's. Of all the places in town, hers is the most ornate. There's cloth hanging out under her awning, and the building that she seems to live in, the stores in. You can see lantern light and torch light coming out of the windows, and they're like kind of some not tapestries, but cloth banners and stuff hanging that kind of show some of her wares, and you can see like tunics and pants and things sewn into those kind of advertising that she is a seamstress. And you guys walk in, little bell ring as you walk in, and there are all kinds of fabrics and wolf pelts and bear pelts and all kind of pelts that are adorning the walls. And there's a lady, an old human lady with gray hair. She's a little bit on the larger side. And she's wrapped in a big fur coat that looks like it's fairly old, and she's sitting next to the hearth of the fire that's in this room where she sells her wares, and she's in a rocking chair near her fire. If you walk into the door to the left is her big hearth, and then towards the back is like the counter where she would sell goods and stuff like that. But you walk in,
ma'am, do you have some warmth you could spare?
Good evening. My name is Lady Lupa.
There's a proper old
Welcome.
lady.
What?
I said, now there's a proper old lady.
Good
That's
evening.
not a gruff voice at all.
No. Good evening. Welcome to my shop. I've been making clothes a long time. You sound like an outlander, someone who's from the, mainlander. You sound like someone from the mainland.
I like this voice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes, we are. We're from the mainland, as you said.
She hasn't turned around yet. She's still looking in her fire. She says, "You must be the boys that Duncan came and told me to give you some clothing for free."
Yeah, we like free clothing, particularly if it's the warm kind.
Why? I like Duncan well enough, but why should I give you some of my clothes for free? I spend a lot of time, and I may not have a lot of time left on this earth. I'm trying to store up some things for my grandkids. I'm out here giving you clothes for free just because you didn't think to bring warm clothes on your trip.
We killed some orcs at the town gate.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they was trying to come back for culling ahead of time.
How many did you kill?
Oh, hundreds.
6.
I don't believe you
600.
killed hundreds. That seems like a number that's a little bit too high. But 6 seems reasonable. I do hate an orc, especially when they take people from us. Alright, fine, I'll give you some clothes for free, but they won't be the prettiest ones I've got.
Well, what if you did?
That's her.
Choked on a little bit of age there. So what if you just gave us a discount? We got something a little bit nicer.
Oh, no, it's fine. Duncan's a good mayor. I'll do right by him, absolutely. You can have something for free. I've got some fur-lined jackets and things for you that you can have if you want.
I'm gonna need some of that.
Please.
Absolutely. She goes and hobbles. She stands up out of her chair and hobbles back to her behind her counter, and she goes sifting through a few things.
Arlo wants some fur-lined underwear.
So yeah, she pulls up some things. She kind of eyes you through her spectacles and sizing you up and down. And she pulls out things that look to be perfectly sized for all 5 of you. She gets some trousers, if you want to pull those on, and some big coats that seem to be fur lined. Some of them look like they might have bear fur on the inside. Some of them look like they might have wolf fur on the inside.
Cool.
And they've got big kind of Jedi hoods on all these coats, on these cloaks that she gives you. And she says, "Well, I think this ought to suffice for you.
Yes, that should do it.
Thank
Ought
you.
to keep you warm.
Works for me. Thank you very much.
If you're here to kill orcs, it's my pleasure to serve you. But next time you will have to pay a little bit."
That's understandable.
Not a problem.
So all of her stuff, she grants resistance to all effects of cold and resistance to piercing damage. So if you take some stabbing or piercing damage, you'll only take half damage from these things because they be thick boys.
Or cold damage.
Or cold damage, correct.
Cool.
But wearing these coats, and if it's not cold, you will be fatigued.
Okay.
You will be. That's a condition, right?
Nope.
Fatigued, or what's it?
Is it?
Exhaustion.
It might be. Hold on.
It will be a level of exhaustion,
Mm.
and it will increase the longer you wear it in the heat.
So in this pile of things that look like they'd fit me, do I see fur-lined boots?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I want to get some fur boots and a scarf and like a woolen vest or something, because I already wear the big overcoat thing.
Okay. She put out kind of a big smorgasbord for you to take what you think you need. So.
And some long johns.
Okay. So yeah, you slide all those on. Start to feel toasty.
Jack was fully nude and prepared to get some clothes.
We'll picture that she has a place to change.
Well, while she's helping Jack figure out what all he's getting and everything.
Jack's wearing a mask and a smile.
Can't see the smile.
Yes.
Can I sort through my hat and see if there's any books that look like they might have different styles of clothing or something like that? I had 80 books. I got rid of 5. So
Yeah. I think we said we'd roll to see if you found anything. We'll just roll to see if that exists in your hat.
just a straight
Yeah,
one.
roll a d20 and I'll.
5.
Okay, that was my thing. If it was above 5, it would exist. So yeah, there's a rudimentary sewing book in your thing, kind of basic sewing, and it comes from the capital. This book, so it's got
Different styles.
the way in the Hunger Games they have all those weird clothes. In the capital they dress a little differently, so you have a little different styles than she might have seen.
Okay. I wanna leave that book on the counter.
Oh, is this you leaving this for me?
Yeah, I found it. And I'm not a sewing type person, so.
Oh well, thank you. I'll be sure to look through it. Absolutely.
Sounds good. I just, trying to do a good thing for you there.
It's like a whole squirrel comes out. Oh.
I appreciate.
Pushes it behind the counter.
I appreciate you, little one.
You might want to learn how to chew your food a little bit better.
As the dentures, these fake teeth.
Another squirrel.
Do you know where we could get enchanted clothes? You don't happen to enchant clothes, do you?
I don't. I'm not particularly magical myself. You'll actually find that the population of people here, and I feel like the voice changed a lot, and I'm trying to get back
higher
to old
pitch.
lady. Old lady, that's a little better,
Yeah.
right?
Nope.
It was less straining on your voice.
Yeah.
Old lady,
That'll work.
a little bit older.
Yeah.
You'll find that most people here are not particularly magical. Buckland seems to attract the more rough and tumble folk who can't make it a lot of other places. As you know, our world doesn't treat the non-magical very kind any longer. Oh, no, I'm not versed in enchanting myself.
That's a pity. Thank you anyway.
You're very welcome.
I'm going to leave.
Apologies to the audience for the voice discrepancies throughout the show.
All right.
You good?
I'm saying this first.
Yeah, okay.
I walk out the door. I'm walking down to the mine.
Okay.
Now, if they talk and they say something else to the old lady, they're not going to be with me when I get to the mine first.
Okay. So yeah, Grim has left the building. Are you follow him, or what are y'all doing?
I'm heading that way. What
Okay.
I'm doing right now.
I'll wait a minute, then go out the door.
You don't have to. It's just
I want to
happens
look
all
at
the
myself
time.
in the mirror.
Misiko and Burb as well, they've slid their stuff on. They're very. Misiko says, "Ooh, I've never been so warm in my life," and Burb says, "Me neither."
Should we assume Misiko is cold-blooded? Or
I mean, you could.
He
I guess.
died before we made it to the shore. He froze solid.
He's been driving around.
Yeah.
Wait, he's from here though.
Yeah, he does
it's
live
fine.
in Mediene,
He's fine.
He's good.
but he's not very wealthy.
This Jack So's still over there at the mirror.
Yeah.
Jeez, it might
He wouldn't have had the money to buy this stuff himself. All right, so is everybody leaving?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. Thank you, and I will hopefully see you around.
Sound good. Thank you very much.
She goes back to her rocking chair and.
I'm gonna take this time to get the cleaver that I got from Fark, the white-handled one, Jack's wife's cleaver,
Okay.
and I'm gonna put that one on my belt in place of the one that is currently being enchanted.
Cool.
So
So shed a tear or two. Just kidding.
Maybe. More like a determined look,
Okay. Cool.
less like I'm upset, more like I'm gonna do this blade, do this blade proud.
Okay.
Just-
So you guys walk through the city down to the south, and to the south of the city. After you kind of leave the main buildings and the buildings kind of thin out, there's a kind of an open area. You're still within the wall, the large stone walls of the city, but towards the back on the edge of the city walls, you can see what looks like a very large cabin next to some smaller outbuildings. And on the way, you can see a little bit of signage on the way up that says the Full Heart Manor. It's an imposing and large cabin constructed of great thick logs of a dark brown color. The roof is shingled with dark blue shingles, and as the snow blows in, it packs itself into the concave areas between the logs of the walls. The building is 2 stories tall, very large, and sits near what looks to be a mine. There's several outbuildings near a stone door that is dug into the ground. So you've got this big imposing cabin kind of on the left. On the right, you have smaller wooden outbuildings that kind of surround this stone door that looks to be the door to a mine. But it doesn't look like ruins. You shouldn't be confused that this is the ruins that we were discussing earlier. There are several outbuildings, yada, yada, yada. That door is open wide. Outside of that door and organized very well are looks like mining equipment, carts, cranes, tools that are sitting out there, and they're organized like they're about to be used or have been used. And the sounds of work can be heard from inside, and torchlight flickers through the light snowfall as the party walks up to the manor.
Boom.
with Jack slightly behind, with Burb and what's his guy?
Yeah, so
Misko.
you guys are all, you guys are all together, we'll say, as you kind of walk up. I don't think you stuck around long enough to not just do a quick job on the way out to catch up to Grim and them. Unless you want to be separate. Okay. Outside, before you make it to the manor, you are greeted by what we'll say is a vaguely familiar young man. He's that very large, just beef prince of a man that you rescued in the bottom of the Witherbranch Manor, the lonesome constable's manor.
Oh yeah.
He's
The son.
the son of the people that you rescued. He is the brother to Justine and the son of Albert and Corinne Fullheart. This is Torque Fullheart. He is a big, beefy boy. He's just ripped. He's wide. He's muscly. He's kind of got his like Han Solo coat on. He's got his fur lined coat on, and he walks up to you. He says, "Greetings to you all. It's been weeks since you freed us from that miserable dungeon."
Possibly a year.
It's been a
while.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a year for us. It's been a long time since you rescued us, and frankly, we were surprised to see you here so soon. You must have made great haste to join us. It's great that you're here, no doubt. You have seen some trouble along the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Question: like, where's everybody else? Everybody kind of just disapparated, or what you call it?
Everybody else, my family, you mean?
Yeah, everybody just kind of like, and there we're gone.
Oh, all that will be explained in time.
But everybody's all right.
Oh, everyone's okay. We've come to learn in the last several weeks what happened there, and the secret is that Justine has some strange powers going on in her, and I can't explain it as good as my father can. But essentially, something happened, and she teleported us back here, or blinked us, or world walked, or what? I don't know what it was, but she transported us almost instantaneously back here. It didn't hurt, or it didn't feel very good. It hurt pretty bad, but we recovered fairly quickly, and now she's learning how to kind of use that at will a little bit. But that you didn't come to hear all that. It's so good to see you. Did you have a good travel? Was it easy to get here? What happened? We haven't seen you in a while. We've been expecting you.
Walk in the park, it wasn't nothing.
So not a lot of obstacles in your way?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
No, not really.
Not particularly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost died.
Oh, really?
3 times. Both of us, all of us.
Well,
Actually, he did die a little bit.
that's very.
Yeah, but he's all right, man.
It's very impressive. I don't want to, seem like too forward, but did you bring the item that my father, I believe, they sent a letter and requested for you to bring?
No. Maybe.
Small?
No.
You got it from Simon Simon? He was a real wretch of a young man.
What item?
The key.
Oh, yes, I have that in my person.
Yeah, so,
You have that in your
I
person?
have it on my person.
Okay.
all right, so,
Oh, wait. Is that for the ruins?
I don't know exactly what it's for.
I'm
My
going
father
to the
knows
ruins.
more
Bye-bye.
about that. Huh?
I'm going to the ruins. I leave forever. Never coming back. I'm going
What are you?
into the wilderness.
So what are you doing?
No, nothing. I'm just waiting.
So ends his adventure.
Okay, so you're not doing any. Okay.
No. I did ask if it was for the ruins, but
I'm not exactly sure what it's for, but I do know it's a very important key that my father has requested that you bring, and if you've brought it, you're obviously very capable, a capable party of adventurers, and we're glad to have you here, and we are in your debt. But, like I said, my father knows far more than I do, so I will take you to him now, and I will get back to my chores and work around, the mine.
What do you do around here?
Odds and ends. I keep the mine running and make sure we're gathering as much as we can, as well as I can run a little bit of protection. I know my way around weapons, know my way around a fight. I was trained a lot. I'm as you can see, I'm a pretty large man, and I can handle myself pretty well. My father and mother don't tend to send me out on missions or anything. They try to keep me close, and mostly what need to make sure of is that Justine is safe, and that's my biggest job is based on what the parents say is, and it's what I want to do is keep her safe.
That's admirable right there. Hey, you say y'all keep operations running smooth. What kind of mine y'all got here? I mean, is this coal or metals or what you got?
Again, I think my father would want to explain exactly what we're mining.
Sounds. Don't want to take up your whole day.
But I'll say this: it used to be we used to mine, gold and other minerals, not other things like that, not minerals, of
Bitcoin.
gold and ores. Yeah, it used to be a financial pursuit, but it's less so now. But I believe my father will want to explain that. And as he's having this conversation, he's kind of leading you up to the cabin.
We do that.
Anything else you guys want to discuss with Torque as you head off? Because he'll stop at the door and he opens the door to this manor for you. You walk up onto this big porch. And he opens the door to it, and he leads you inside. He says, into the right is where father and mother will be.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Good to see you safe again.
Yes, and I believe I'll be seeing you again before we see morning. I think there's a task for us all to get into. I'm actually going to prepare for that now. But again, my mother will tell you about what we need from you. I will see you all later.
Sounds good. Don't get sucked up in no teddy bear now.
I will not. Though it has happened before. You're right. you
finger guns.
Yeah. He walks away, and the door opens, and you are now in this grand foyer of a great cabin. It looks like a cabin, but it's very manor-y, very mansion-y. There's a big staircase that leads up to a second level, like in front of you in this foyer. The outer walls of this building are wooden, but many of the inner walls you see are made of stone, and the floor is hardwood. In a grand room to the right of the entry, there's a big, long wooden table. This room looks like it was obviously once a dining room, but now it seems to serve as like a planning room for a burgeoning rebellion. There are maps and parchment strewn about. A large model of the city stands on the middle of the table, and with that model kind of has like small household items you can see placed around it, seeming to indicate different points of interest or whatever it is they want to put on there. And standing at the end of the table near this the model is not in the middle of the table, it's on the table near the end where these people are. At the end of that table is Albert Fullheart, which you rescued from the dungeon of Ronald Witherbranch. He is standing with his hands on the table, kind of looking down, puzzling over a map. And his wife, Corinne Fullheart, who you also rescued, is sitting with her hands on her temples, staring at the same map nearby. She is sitting down, not standing. And then Justine Fullheart, the little girl that you rescued that sucked everybody into a teddy bear, is walking around happily with that same stuffed bear, kind of hanging out and doing, little girl stuff, playing, sitting, doing things. And this is what you see when you walk in.
Hey, Mr. Fullheart.
A big welcome to our heroes. See, Corey, I told you they'd arrive any day now. There's no need to be worried. And look, it indeed is any day today.
Just any old day?
Yes.
All right.
I look over to Jack and whisper, "This man's odd."
Come in, sit down. I see you brought more friends. We've not met these others.
He was living in a cage when we found him.
Very true.
That's true.
This a teddy bear.
This Kinku is Burb, and this other man is Misko.
And I'll assume you've met Duncan. You no doubt you're in the city only because you've met our mayor and he allowed you in. So I assume that these new folks you brought in are trustworthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Burb here, our friend, he was instrumental in your escape.
This is true.
Well, I thank you, Burb. I thank you a great deal. You have done more than you know in allowing us to escape. You certainly have. Corinne, his wife, speaks up and says, "It would be hard to call it perfect timing, but we are glad you finally arrived. I trust you carry the item we mentioned in our summons for you."
What is it for?
I will explain in due time, but you do have it.
What is it for, though?
It's a key.
Yes.
It's a key to open doors that have been sealed by powerful magic that none other seems to be able to open.
Couldn't just teddy bear it over.
No, certainly not.
Because they didn't have it at the time.
That is true.
But now I have it.
You do.
Yes.
But yes, it is a very important key that we need to enact what will be the second phase of our plan here. But
Which is?
how about this? How about I start from the beginning? How about I let Albert start from the beginning and he'll explain what's going on here. And I'll continue thinking about this while he explains this.
Shut up, woman. I'll tell the story.
He says, but first, before I explain that, he says, you, sir, with the yellow skin, your name? Misiko, was it?
Yes.
He says, yes, it is Misiko. I am just, actually, I'm not permanently with this group here. I am just traveling south to Mediene's Beard where I live and, make my wares. I traveled to the mainland and I did not have a good time selling.
Shouldn't you have left us by now, Misko? You know your way from here. You're a local.
Well, it is almost nighttime and I was actually about to ask. I was hoping that maybe, being that I have helped you get here, maybe, Mr. Albert, you would provide me with a supply or two for the rest of my journey. It will be several more days if I'm to travel alone before I get back to my home. And like I said, I have lost all that I have. And Albert says, well, if you're a friend of these men who've come here and brought this very important item to us, you are absolutely a friend of ours. You may certainly take some of our supplies for your journey home. You may absolutely stay here. We hope that you'll stay for the next 2 or 3 days, just to rest up before your journey, as well as I believe we do have some strong weather coming in as well. So we wouldn't want you traveling in the weather. But if you would like to go and actually, if you'd like to go outside and go find Duncan, he should be heading up this way as we speak. He may get you set up with your supplies as well and a place to stay for the night. What we're about to discuss in here is very boring. A lot of minutia, a lot of planning, so it's really not anything you're concerned with at all anyway if you're going to be leaving us.
No revolutions happening in here. No.
So Misiko says, yes, very well. I will go outdoors and wait for Duncan then. And he leaves.
It's going to take Duncan too.
Huh?
Just taking everything inside.
Yeah.
Just have everything off the table. He's just going to pick up Duncan, take him to everything.
Did you want Pokesy back?
No, you can have Pokesy.
Oops.
Okay, so he walks outside. He says, now, speaking of Duncan, no doubt you met him on the way up, like I said. He was at the gate trying to ward off a culling that was coming a little too early.
Oh, yes, they're dead.
You all helped. There was a battle then?
Yes.
I assume Duncan's all right. Did we have any casualties? Is everyone okay, or did we?
No, everything's fine.
We
Wonderful.
lost several orcs.
I do not mind that at all.
Don't know where they went. They're just lost.
The ones that fight in the army are
Oh, and a horse.
Our
Poor horses.
Oh, yes.
are soulless husks anyway. They are nothing but grist for the mill, and something to oppress us with.
The horse was the last mirror.
And they're trying to double dip on these cullings as well, and I wish they would stop. I wish that they would quit doing this and they wouldn't force our hand so much. But they're ramping up their desires for us, and I fear that we will have a bigger force on our hands soon. But after all, the key. Let me explain the key. So, the key is made of a most peculiar element, and I no doubt imagine that you have encountered some of this on your travels, right? Surely you have seen this obsidian black element before.
Yeah.
Because the key is made of the same material that you had that rock that you used to get into the amphitheater.
No, I was trying to remember if Grim had seen it. Yes, Jack had a rock of some sort similar material. So when I picked up the key, nothing happened?
No, it didn't. Nothing happened with that key.
Is
Sorry,
that not
take
on
a
your
sip.
little tie button thing?
Yeah, but Grim doesn't know it's the same. He just thinks it's a black rock.
So he says, well, let me explain a little bit about that material. We call it Planium, and we really don't know much about it, but what we do know is that it's quite the conduit for the energies of our universe here. It holds great arcane power, and it manifests in different ways. Some of it is just pure ore that is undirected in any certain way, but there are some things like this key that the gods or some other force has fashioned into an item with a use. So if you had just a stone of it, who knows what that could, if was fashioned for any sort of specific use. Or this key is actually a key that will open these like I said, or I believe Corinne maybe said, sealed doors in our world. There are several doors that are sealed that may some even have remained unfound. We know of 2 that we are unable to open. And there are treasures and items behind those doors that we need. But first of all, I want to explain this Planium stuff, because I have no doubt that you don't know a lot about it, because most people don't. Have you ever heard this word Planium before?
No.
Very well, then you are starting at 0, and it is my pleasure to try to explain some of this.
I'll live at 0.
Yeah. So I had no idea that this stuff existed until I was elected to the High Council several years ago. It was during that time on the council that I witnessed the gravity of the existence of this material, and it is what led to my resignation from the council as well. We haven't had time today to do we don't have the time today to do a full lesson on Planium, but suffice it to say the following. Our world is but one world on one plane of existence among many hundreds. The High Council has used Planium to peer into other worlds, and they have seen power beyond the likes that is known here. They are now using chaos and corruption to sow discord in our world, throw off the balance of our plane, and use that imbalance to gain arcane power and take the things that they have seen beyond our world. The more they destroy here, the more cracks they form in our plane of existence, the more power they can acquire from beyond our world. Now, I don't know yet how exactly they're doing this, and I don't know yet even if they have found a way to actually acquire this power that they're seeking, but I know that they're trying. And I know that is what they seek, is more power. And they kill as many innocents as required to get there, which you have seen already. They're drunk with power, and they thirst for more. And our goal as the servants of the scale, which I'm sure Corgus has told you, is to stop them and to set right the balance of our world. So, Planium. We call it that because they're planes of existence. We call it that because we know these things. We're not traveling across them or anything yet, but the High Council is using this material. It is the most powerful material in our world, and that's actually what we're mining in the mine. It used to be a gold mine. It used to be a mine for financial gain, but now we've found a vein of Planium, and it's one of the things keeping our operations of servants afloat.
Do you have some of this here with you now?
Yes, we do have some here.
Can I touch it?
Not right now. Let's finish this conversation first. I have things I want to explain to you as well.
In what amount do you extract it from the mine? Is it something incredibly
Small.
rare? Or?
It is incredibly rare. The ore is incredibly rare. The veins are small, and we have very small trace amounts of it here. The High Council, on the other hand, is shipping it in by the ton.
Where are they getting it from?
Other mines around the world. Actually, what the Cullings, they are taking people to, they take people under the guise of public works projects and things, but really all the people who are taken for Cullings are either executed or put down in mines to mine for this Planium so that they can continue their research, they can continue their seeking of this greater power through the passage through other planes. Now again, I don't think that they've figured out a way to pass through other planes yet, but I know that's what they're trying to do. And the way that they're doing that is they're throwing off the balance of our world by increasing death and decreasing life and goodness here. But anyway, back to the key. The key is fabled to be able to open many of these god magic sealed doors that I've discussed. We have reason to believe, after much reading, that a certain magical item lies beyond one of these sealed doors, and we need you, because you've proven yourself capable, and we cannot leave our headquarters here. There's too much to be done, as well as I know that I'm certainly not as capable in any sort of adventure or fight as you all. You have displayed an ability to not only save me from destruction, but also to get yourselves from lonesome to Buckland in what seems to be record time, honestly.
I don't know if you'd call us what you might say capable so much as somewhere near a level of competence.
Well, Mr. Arlo, you are here, so you are obviously capable enough. And honestly, we don't have too many people to send out on things anymore anyway. So
I'll take it.
We need to send you on another adventure, sadly. But we have reason to believe that this key opens these doors. We have intelligence to suggest that the council knows about us. We have intelligence that leads us to believe that they know where we are, and they know that we have created this organization to try to stop them. So, the artifact we are looking for, if it exists, will allow we servants to escape an early demise. And if we do not find this item before the council finds us, And besides, to strike, we will either all die or be so few that we'll have to begin from scratch.
Where do you want us to go? What do you want us to get?
I will need you to travel to the mainland again. Now, it won't take as long, I promise. We have a way to get you there much faster. But in the Bone Mountains, there's a ruin, and behind the door there, we believe that there is an item that, again, I want to get through all this information because I have something Corinne has to tell you, but it's called Moradin's tiny orb. The dwarf god Moradin is fabled to have created a magical item that we believe will be able to save our little enterprise. In what way, we're not certain, but we have an idea. But
this is back on the mainland?
yes, it is back on the mainland,
Where's
in the
the
very
book map?
center.
Me.
Got the map.
And as he's speaking and you guys are kind of like looking around and taking this in, Corinne says, Albert, darling, you're getting carried away. We have slightly more pressing matters to attend to now before sending our new friends on another grand adventure.
You seem to be
Everybody
wasting
calm
a
down.
lot of time. What is the point, sir?
Let Corinne finish. Like I said, I am getting carried away. We cannot send you away before we ask you to do one more task.
So
And
what
she
is
has
this
a
one
task.
thing you want us to do then?
She will tell you now.
Okay, do it.
Here, I will tell you now, of course. You do, as you no doubt, you saw at the gate, that fight that you went through. How many were there?
6. Do you want us to go to the fort?
No, I do not need you to go to the fort. I need you to gather some supplies to help us fight the next time the orcs come back. When that party does not return back to the fort, they will send, likely in force, many more orcs. And without going to gather some supplies, we may not survive the onslaught. They may overtake the gate, and they may begin stealing us out of here in greater numbers. And even worse, they may come and attack our little enterprise and throw us off.
You just assumed we didn't ask them politely to leave, and they were like, okay, we're just going to leave.
Well, we told them we killed them.
Yeah, we did.
So, what I need you to do, we need you to do some hunting. Have you all hunted before, killed animals?
What do you need us to hunt?
A little bit.
We need you to do some hunting of some animals that do not normally live in our world. They are products of this imbalance that the council is setting for us. There are pockets in our world now where creatures from other worlds or objects from other worlds pass into our world without any sort of control. So these creatures that I'm talking about can control it, some cannot. But we've taken to calling them blinkses. They are these cat-like creatures that they live near the coast, and Torque is going to take you there if you agree to go hunt them. They appear at the coast, and they are like fish cats for all I can. That's what they look like. They got big, fish eyes and fins, and they're extremely large, like fish lions, more than fish cats. But what's important about them is their teeth.
Definitely not a catfish.
Not a catfish. We need.
Do they suck things up?
No, they do. Well, they eat.
Do they
things.
have some sort of semblance of time control?
No time control?
Is this their origin, though?
Time control?
Blink's the time sweeper.
No, it does
He's
not.
a cat that can control time.
Excuse
He's
me.
a
I'm
video
sorry.
game.
I understand your reference now.
Big eyes. Yep.
Anyway, what's important about these creatures are their teeth. They have long black fangs.
Ooh.
And these creatures, we have learned the hard way, that whenever they bite you, they have the ability to transport you back to what we believe to be their home world, their home plane of existence. They blink you out of existence, essentially, if they bite you. They have that choice. Some people have been bitten and not gone anywhere. Some people have been bitten and boop, they blink out of existence. We need you to go and kill several of these creatures and bring back their teeth. Because, after dealing with these creatures a lot, we are constantly, as our small rebellion, we are constantly trying to figure out ways to best the orc army, to gain an upper hand when we have smaller numbers. So, we've killed one before. We took their teeth and we attached them to arrows. And in testing, if we fired an arrow at something made of flesh, something that was living, that creature boop, blinked out of existence.
Every time?
Every time.
Excellent.
It seems...
How many do you need?
We need a lot.
How?
I have to imagine... I would prefer you come back with no less than 6 Blinkses worth of teeth.
Arlo's like looking around in his pack for like pliers and stuff.
Yeah. Apparently, without their brain, without their mind to control their powers, the magic instantly works with these teeth. And we believe that if you can bring back enough teeth, an orc onslaught on our walls with enough archers should be, if not instantly taken out, it should be very easy to combat these creatures, or to combat the orcs with these teeth. So, would you be willing to go hunt some down for us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 2 doors that you know of.
Yes.
Where's the second one?
We know of one in the Bone Mountains. The other is here, in the ruins of Aasimar.
You know what kind of item might be near or around that door? The other one's got the little orb thing, right?
We don't know if there's anything specific behind that door. If there's nothing, we just know that it's sealed. The only research that we have been focused on is Moradin's orb, because we believe that it can shield us from an onslaught from the council. Now, of course, even if this fort sends all of its orcs in force, it will be nothing compared to what the council will bring if they do find out where we are and they do decide to kill us all. So, first, we need you to bring back some teeth. Second, we need to send you on a journey to the mainland.
What do you believe the orb does?
We believe that this orb, and based on its information that we've seen, and this is Albert is getting excited as Corinne is speaking. He says, "We believe that it will be able to suck us all in. That this orb it can hold a large swath of creatures and area within it. It's able to be able to a user may use it, and within a great radius, all life and everything around it gets sucked in and can live in stasis inside that orb for as long as the supplies that get sucked in will allow the person to last. And an outside user can take that orb to another place and use it again, and then everything that is within is now without. And we could move our whole operation to anywhere we wanted, so long as the person carrying the orb remained safe and didn't have it, stolen or broken. So our goal is to, if this thing exists, to bring it back. And we imagine that it's only a matter of time before the council comes for us, if they do have intelligence on where it is, where we are. We want to bring the orb back, suck up our whole operation, and move it elsewhere.
Now, this is just me asking, but
Of course.
we got to go back to the mainland to get your little orb.
Correct.
But there's something else. This, like right around the corner over at the Aasimar place.
Maybe. We don't know what's in there.
Should we go check down there first since we're already here?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
The
okay.
orb is the priority.
All right.
If we do not have the orb before the council comes, I don't know what we'll do.
All right. Sounds like a plan. We need to go get you some tooths.
If you don't mind, of course.
Yeah,
Let's
we
go
got
ahead
more
and get
time
the
in the
teeth.
day or what?
Let's go ahead and get the teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, so Torque has said that he is willing to take you out hunting. If you would like to sleep a few hours, I don't know if you need any rest. You're perfectly able to do that. Or if you'd like to go ahead and go now, I believe Torque is ready. He will take you out into the wilderness out near the coast, and he will take you to their pool where they live. But I need to give you some caution. And Corinne says, yes, extreme caution. Because she looks over at Justine, who is playing and not really paying attention to this conversation at all, and she says, you're going to have to take Justine with you.
Why?
Because if you get blinked out, she's the only one who can bring you back.
Okay, if we're doing that, I'm going to need to take a nap first.
Okay?
I'm going to go to sleep.
You have plenty of time to take a nap.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
You got a place where we can kind of bed down a little while?
Sure. You all are family in our home. You have rescued us from an untimely demise. Not only us, but our children. You may sleep in our home tonight. And she says, upstairs there are plenty of places, rooms for you to sleep. If you'd prefer to bunk together, there are big bunk rooms. Or if you'd like a private room, you can have one as well. Just find your way to a vacant room, and you can enjoy a night's sleep there, or however long. At about no later than 2 a.m. we need you gone to hunt.
Okay. Let's do it.
Torque is prepared.
Thank you very much. Well, we'll see what we can do about it.
Wonderful. Again, men, Arlo, Grim, Jack, Little Burb,
Grimjack.
thank you so much for all that you have done so far.
It is no trouble at all.
Yes, we appreciate you. We need you. And without you, our whole little rebellion may be belly up before the month is out. We thank you for your service.
That's what we do.
Okay.
We will see you in the morning.
All right. So, you
Yeah,
guys
make
go
sure
up
we
and
don't
take a little
oversleep.
nap.
Be fine. Are we taking a full rest? Full rest?
It's just gotten dark, but it's wintertime, so I guess, yeah, you could probably squeeze in a full rest.
Did I see like a wood pile outside?
Sure.
Okay. Jack's gonna go outside and split some logs.
Okay.
Add to the pile of wood. He doesn't sleep, so.
Okay, cool.
Arlo's gonna find a room and saw some logs.
Okay, that sounds
But
good.
Jack doesn't have to sleep, and I don't think he really likes to sleep.
Okay. For the sake of, Torque is probably busy. He's probably getting some sleep too. I was going to have a conversation with you, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Gotcha.
Torque is also getting some sleep, so everybody's resting. Jack, you're cutting logs and being a general nice fella for doing that. Thank you for doing that. They're pleased. You have mask on or mask off at this point?
Always on.
Always on.
Keeps my nose warm now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So at 2 a.m.
Smoldering embers. in
You
the
are
air.
all awoken with a knock on your door, and you can hear the voice of Torque outside saying, "All right, everybody, wake up! It's time to go. We got to get some blankses."
Well.
All
Let's
right,
do
so
this.
You guys open the door. Torque is standing there. He's got himself a couple of javelins stashed in his back,
A child asleep in his arms.
and he has as well. He's got another hand axe. Axes seem to be popular out here. And Justine is on. Yes, is kind of like he is carrying her. She still seems to be a little bit snoozy. This is like a 5-year-old girl that he's carrying around. She is she's still clutching her little teddy bear, and she is kind of fast asleep in Torque's arms. He says, "All right, everyone, we're going to head out into the wilderness. Everybody bundled up, I assume?"
Yes.
Okay, we're heading out to the coast. Keep your hoods up. It'll be windy. And he walks out. He picks up Justine's little hood, make sure she's bundled up as he's carrying her out. And on their way out, they see Jack still cutting wood.
Sure.
Like 8 hours. They're just like a pile of wood as tall as the house.
The pile reaches to the second-story windows.
Yeah.
We just walk out the window.
Half of the house is missing.
Torque stops and he says, "Jack, did you split all this wood for us?"
Yeah, I wasn't particularly tired, and I felt a bit restless.
Oh. Well, thank you so much.
It was my pleasure.
You ready to hunt some blinkses?
Yes, let's go.
All right. Now, I would like to inform you all, and this is as you guys are traveling out. So you guys walk through the city. There's not a lot of torches lit. It still is very, of course, early in the morning. This is even before people are starting to wake up to get started to work. So the city is pretty dead. You guys walk out and you pass through a western gate of the city, and you're headed west to the coast. And as you get away from the city and down towards the coast, there are very small vegetation, but most of this area is very marshy, cold and marshy. Let me respond to a message real quick. Sorry, seems urgent. Sorry. So you guys it's very marshy, very cold. The ground begins to get soft under your feet. There is cold, almost frosty grass swaying back and forth. And the vegetation gets a little bit thicker, and there's some like mangrove-y typey trees out there, but mostly small vegetation. It's about a 2 or 3 mile walk away from the city, so it's a long little hike that you guys have gone through, and the sea is always on your right side as you're walking out. In the distance, you can see on the outside of the city the ruins of Aasimar that you assume would be those ruins, because you see like kind of some stretching pillars and some other things over there. And Torque actually points it out. He says, those are the ruins. We're assuming that the key you brought can open the door there, as well as the one in the Bone Mountains. So maybe at some point we'll have availability to try that as well. But, of course, priorities. He keeps walking, and at the end of your trip, you approach a perfect circle in the vegetation. Everything is very random and marshy. You're clomping through mud and stuff like that. But this area is just a perfect circle.
I pull out the cane of freeze water.
Nice. The circle is probably about 100 feet wide. Very big pool. It looks like it would be a tide pool, except it's perfectly circular. And then when you look at it, the water is a different color than the sea. The sea is a very dark blue, almost black at this time of night. But when you look at this water in the moonlight, it is almost a bright green color, almost as green as algae. And it's just very different. It's obviously out of place. And it's perfectly circular as well. And to look at it is very deep. The water is extremely clear. The water you pass through to get to here on the boat was not as clear as this water. This water is very, very clear, but still very green. And roll a perception for me, everybody. If you guys are you're kind of at the edge of this, peeking over.
So this is like 100-foot circle.
100-foot diameter.
Really awesome clear water.
Yep.
25.
All right.
24.
Dang.
24.
Wow. Okay.
We see all.
All right. So Misiko and Burb actually didn't join you on this trip.
Right.
Misiko,
They're
Burb.
resting.
Yeah. Burb's still
Misiko
resting.
left.
Misiko is actually staying in a different cabin. He was staying outside getting supplies ready, and they gave him his own cabin to stay in outside.
He's taking that too.
Yeah. So you looking down in there, you can see the shadows of big swimmy cats down close to the bottom of this deep, like it seems to be is even deeper than it is wide, and it just goes straight down this pool of water. You can see just several shadowy cats that are like swimming like you would assume, I guess, a cat in water would if it could swim, and it had big fins underneath the pits of each of its legs and webbed claws.
Slish the water around with the cane, just trying to attract their attention.
Okay. They're so
Lazy
deep
pointer.
that they don't actually notice the slishing.
Is there a rock nearby? A big, large rock?
And Torque notices you looking. Torque notices you looking around. He says, "Oh, don't worry, I've got something to attract him. Attract them. Give me one moment." He takes Justine and he walks her about.
Throws her into the water. Come on now.
No, he walks.
String attached.
He walks farther away and finds the driest spot he can. He puts down a little thing for her to sit on. And he kind of hides her underneath a cloak and puts her near this bush. And you hear him whispering to her. And then he comes back and he takes something out of his pack. This just wrapped up.
It's a Blinks costume and a tube of lipstick.
It is not.
Got some coconuts in there too.
He begins unwrapping it, and you immediately begin to smell the smell of rotting fish. It was well wrapped in this pack, but now that it's out, you can smell it. He's unwrapping. As he's unwrapping, he says,
I
"All right."
point the cane at the water.
Okay. He's unwrapping it, and he says, "Now we're gonna attract him with this fish. They love nasty fish. It seems. Things you need to know about Blinkses. They can scratch you, and it hurts really bad. They can open you up with their claws. If they bite you, prepare to leave this universe, or prepare to leave this plane of existence. It doesn't feel good, but you'll survive it. Based on most of what I've seen, anyone we've gotten back has survived, but they have been injured.
You're basically talking about noodling for catfish at this point.
Yeah.
You're describing the same thing.
And then their tails are poisonous. They will hurt you. So watch out for their tails." As he unwraps the fish, he says, "All right, is everyone ready?"
Yes.
Do you have any sort of antidote for the poison on their tails?
No.
Okay.
But it wears off eventually,
Just regular poison?
I guess.
Hey.
I don't know. I'm not a poison connoisseur.
I didn't know if it was like a blinking kind of thing. Or
Oh
something.
no. Yeah, he
Fine,
says
vintage
this
poison.
poison just hurts you, but I'm not a poison connoisseur. And he flings the dead fish into the water. And as soon as the dead fish hits the water, you see 3 of the shadows in the bottom begin to dart up to the thing on all sides of the thingamajigger. And they begin to dart up.
When they reach the thing, I want to freeze the water around them.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. So we'll call that a surprise. So we'll let you do that first, and then we'll roll initiative. How about that? Does that make sense? Oh, we can't be rolling initiative, boys.
That's also not how surprise works.
Yeah, you're right. We've dealt with that before. Okay, so what we're going to do is this is going to be a shorter episode because there's no way we finish this combat encounter before we do have to shut down today. So the cliffhanger of today is the shadows begin rocketing to the surface, and as they move, they reveal in the bottom of the pool as well a lot more shadows that look the same shape. But as they come to the surface, getting closer as Grim prepares his cane to freeze water, beginning to, put it into the water to freeze. You can see the big saucery eyes of these Blinkses, and you can see them baring their teeth, and reflecting the moonlight are just these jet black, extremely long fangs. And he says, and Torque pulls out a javelin, and he says, "Well, friends, I certainly hope I don't see you on the other side." And that will be the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on iTunes, leave us a review. And if you like the show, just let us know. You can send me an email at taintmediagames@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at taintmediagames. But until next time, please remember that we love you very much.
Bye.
Toodles.
Later.